Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Pink Power Live Hangout. We are so super excited. We have Emerald Ambassador Kodie Helmer on our call tonight, and we could not be more excited. I know once I started following, so I became friends with her on Facebook, and then literally every day I see her post, and it's just so inspiring. So I was like, we got to have her on our call. So she's amazing all the time. I think you just did a Facebook Live right before this too that I'm going to watch later. So,
Yeah, I did.
so this is I'm Nikki Westerfield, by the way, Ruby Ambassador of Plexus Worldwide.
And I am Shirley Colella, Gold Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide.
And we are so excited. Kodie, do you want to just start off like sharing your story first?
Sure.
Yeah?
Gosh, do you
Okay.
want the whole thing? The health and you just want all of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Okay, so I started Plexus in March of 2015, and I had struggled with a lot of different health issues for most of my life, but mostly like anxiety and depression, which stemmed from a traumatic childhood. And so I was dealing with that stuff, taking a lot of medications all of my life, going to therapy, doing all of those things. But I also started a family really young. And so my husband and I, when we first met each other, we talked about having a big family, and we got it. We've got 3 boys, 3 girls, 6 babies all together. And so, I was like, most moms, I put myself on the back burner to take care of my family. And so I found myself I feel like I woke up one day and I was 30 years old dealing with all of these health issues from my past, these mental health issues from my past. And also, I'm checking my blood sugar 4 times a day. I am not sleeping good. I'm exhausted every day. I lacked energy. I wasn't playing with my kids. I wasn't the mom that I wanted to be, that I always thought that I was going to be, when I was little and I was going through those things. I kind of you envision what your life is going to be like, and you have this beautiful husband who takes good care of you and treats you like a princess, right? And you've got all your babies running around, and it's all fun. And that wasn't me. I really felt like it was all I could do just to get up in the morning and stay up. I wish that I had a nap every day. It was awful, and it wasn't the life that I wanted. But I joined Plexus for the weight loss because that's all that I thought it was for. So I scrolled through my Facebook news feed, and my sponsor is Fallon Black, if you guys don't know. I didn't really know Fallon, which is kind of a cool thing too, is I befriended her from a mom's group, just a random Christian mom's group. I had no idea who she was. She just posted one day, now I know it was a total, I'm trying to get people on Plexus, but back then I just thought that it was sweet. But she asked for friends. She just said, I love making new friends. Does anybody out there want to be friends with me? Just like something so stupid and silly like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love making new friends. So I friended her on Facebook. Next thing you know, she's scrolling through my Facebook newsfeed, holding her pink drink, right? She didn't message me. I just noticed it. And the only thing that I really knew about Fallon at that time was that she had just had her 5th baby the same time I had my 6th baby. So our babies are about 3 to 4 weeks apart, I think. But anyway, she posted a photo of her standing in her bathroom. She's holding her pink drink. She's thin. She's smiling. She's talking about all this energy she has to clean her bathroom. And I'm like sitting on the couch. It's all I could do to sit there and fold this massive pile of laundry while I watched the Wendy Williams show. Like, that was the place that I was in my health. So I reached out to her and I just said, okay, tell me what this pink drink is. And she just gave me just a little nugget. It's my mom fuel, whatever she said, just something really, really simple, which kind of got my wheels spinning. And I thought, I need this. And so I did my own little bit of research. I'm kind of I'm a red color personality. I'm not really green. So I made my decision. I'm going to do this. I didn't have the money right away. That's kind of another part of our story. We were broke, dealing with a lot of health issues, overweight, but we were really, really broke. My husband's a police officer. He's been a police officer for 11 years. So it took me a minute to get my monies together. And so I tell people, if you're reaching out to people and they ignore you, that was me. I pulled the Houdini for 2 weeks because I didn't have the money to buy my welcome pack, and I was too prideful to say, I don't have the money. You're going to have to check back in with me later. So I just totally ignored Fallon when she followed up with me that one time, and I jumped on board. And so I started using the products really consistently, and I was like hell bent on losing that 20 pounds of baby weight. I had no idea that it was going to do so much for me, but I have to share this part of my story because it's really important. I almost quit at 3 weeks. Like, oh, it blows my mind now, but at 3 weeks in, I got on the scale in the bathroom, and I was like that weirdo that totally weighed themselves all the time. Like, I weighed myself in the morning, I weighed myself in the evening, like before I got in the shower, I'd weigh myself again after I got out of the shower, because the numbers on the scale really dictated like how I felt about me, right? So I got on the scale 3 weeks in, took my products consistently. I had not lost a single ounce, and I was like ready to throw this stuff in the toilet. Like, what is going on? I'm not losing any weight. I was ready to give up. And so if it wasn't for my husband in that moment, there in the bathroom, I probably would have given up. But he told me, like, Kodie, you're crazy. You're falling asleep without your sleeping pills. You're not yelling at the kids all day. You're not like begging to take a nap. Like, you even mentioned that your clothes are fitting differently. You're not hitting the soda all the time. Like, something's happening. You've got to continue. But me, I was like so focused on the scale and the numbers on the scale that I was about to give up. And I think that that's just, it's so true for so many people. So that 3 week to 1 month where people are really like, they've been taking it a while and they're really thinking that they should be noticing something, right? Noticing weight loss or whatever it is. That's a crucial time. And that's when you should be being that your person's person, the person that my husband was for me in the bathroom that day, when I was ready to give up. He was like my cheerleader, like, you've got to continue. And he pointed out all of my non-scale victories. And I am so, so grateful that I listened to him, because by the time I hit 3 months on the products, I had lost 24 pounds. I felt the best that I've ever felt in my life. I was that mom that I wanted to be. I was more patient with the kids. I had more energy to play with the kids. I got my smile and my fun back that I had been missing, and I felt really good. I kicked like $600 a month in prescription medications, so totally crazy.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's done a lot for my health, and the business has done a lot for us in other ways. But yeah, this is an awesome products, awesome opportunity.
Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. That's life changing right there. Just getting rid of all those medications.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I actually created, I sent out a couple emails today and created a new before and after photo, and we can't share those on Facebook, so y'all didn't see it. But I mean, it just, even now looking at that today, blows my mind. I don't even recognize that other girl at all, like on the inside or the outside, completely different
Yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I feel like Plexus has done that for me as well. Okay, so can we ask you a few questions?
Yeah, pick my brain.
All right. So, specifically, what daily activities should a newbie do when they first start?
Okay, so I'm big on the IPA. And the thing about IPA, you guys, is there's really only 2 income producing activities, and that is reaching out to people and following up with people. And that is really it. Now, you can argue that smart social media is good IPA. I think that's really, really important too. You have to be posting about Plexus once a day, but that Plexus post has got to be mixed in with the majority of your posts about you. If you go to my Facebook page, you're going to see a lot of things about Kodie. You're going to be able to make a determination on what kind of person I am. And then you're going to see that Plexus is a part of me. Plexus isn't me. I'm not Plexus. You're not Plexus. You're you. And that's why people are on your Facebook friends list. So don't forget that. So post smart on social media. Post about yourself, your best self, because sometimes we can post things that's not less than desirable, but IPA, really reaching out to people and following up with people and being consistent and sharing. Like, one thing that I did when I first started that I felt was really important, or a huge piece of my success, was that I shared everything, you guys. Like, I shared when I noticed that I fell asleep without my sleeping pills. I shared when I finally saw the whites on my fingernails, which is like silly for most people. People have nails, right? But for me, with severe anxiety, I always picked, I hadn't seen the whites on my nails since I was like a baby. So that was a big deal for me. I posted about it. I posted everything, guys, and you should too. The day that you fit back into your old jeans that you find in the closet, post about that stuff. You're going to notice a lot of different things. You want to tell the world, those are the things that's going to get people's attention.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I definitely think that, it's easy to just find a post and post it that maybe doesn't have anything to do with you, but people actually connect when it has something to do with you and it's your story. So I think that that's a huge takeaway.
Yep.
Okay, so I have another question. It kind of goes with the first one, but what do you do daily as far as income producing activities? You probably already shared some of it, but is there anything else that you do that maybe not a newbie would do? Is there anything different?
Yeah. So I think that your business does change as your business grows. It becomes more important for you to do things like personal growth and development, especially when you start thinking about leadership, strengthening your leadership skills and developing other people and those types of things. So I do feel like I spend a lot more time doing those things. But you guys, I still do my IPA and that reaching out and following up with people still. A lot of the people that I reach out to are cold market people, because at this point, 2.5 years in, my warm market's kind of tapped out, right? So another huge part of my IPA now is really focusing on good attraction marketing. So getting the right types of people to come to me, or to at least maybe not come to me initially about Plexus, but want to be my friend, right? To get on my Facebook page, those types of things. And I think another really important thing to remember when you do have a team that is big, and remember, you're a leader when you have one person on your team, so you definitely want to be doing those types of personal growth and development. But something that you need to not forget is that your IPA comes first. Like, your personal business has got to come before your team's questions, posting on your team page, finding that awesome post that's going to motivate your team, that you hope is going to motivate your team, right? Your daily IPA has got to come first. So if you go to my Facebook page and notice, I'm not super active on Facebook until probably most days after 10 a.m., but I get up fairly early to get the kids off to school, right? My IPA comes before I get on Facebook. I answer messages. I pour into other people, whatever it is. So you've got to do your stuff first.
I love that. Me and Shirley actually, gosh, it's getting dark. Me and Shirley used to actually, we still do it too. We would text each other in the morning, like, work your, in capital letters, your business first. And it was like our morning, kind of like a reminder every single day, like, make sure you're working your business first, because it's so important.
I love that. And I did the same thing. I think it's easy to fall into that trap of management mode, right? And so I remember I used to wake up in the morning, and the first thing I would do is grab my phone and see how many messages I had. It made me feel important, right? Like, I need to answer all these messages. Like, wow, 50 people need me. Like, No, you can't fall into that trap because your business will slow down if you do that. If you take your eyes off of your own business.
Absolutely. And it's good doing it with somebody else too, because, you know, like maybe one morning, like I would, you know, forget. And then so Shirley would remind me. And then like, so we did it at different times, like an hour in between, like in the morning. So like,
I love that.
yeah, it's super cool. People that have like power partners or whatever can do it too. It's a good reminder. Or you can just set an alarm on your phone that says, you know, work your business first every morning.
Yes.
Just
Write it on the mirror in the morning.
Yeah.
You see that.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question, how do you stay organized to make sure that you actually hit your goals? So I know I didn't even mention this, but like we do a monthly call for goals. So like that's our like theme tonight is goals. So how do you stay organized to make sure that you actually hit your goals?
Okay, so I am big on positive affirmations. I do my positive affirmations. So if I have a specific goal, that becomes part of my positive affirmations that I do each day. So it kind of reminds me of that, right? Or like I'll make a cool screensaver or something like that. I'm probably not the most organized person in the world, so that's probably the not the best question. But I'm like the gal that's got like 15 notebooks and I don't know what I'm looking for is in what notebook. But I do have a tip as far as goals go, and that is if you don't hit your goal, adjust the timeline, not the goal. The goal doesn't change. And so often I see people, they're shooting for something and they miss, and then all of a sudden they start changing what their goal is and they make it smaller or whatever it is. Don't do that. The goal has got to stay the same. You just adjust the timeline. I still miss goals. I've been doing this 2.5 years. I'm a jewel in this company and I still miss goals. It happens. It happens to everybody, but it's only a failure if you fail to learn from it. So next time you trip or stumble in your business, remember that. What could I have done differently, or what could I have done better? But don't change the goal.
I love that.
Yes, me too. And so this one might be for those people that, you know, that are super busy and they may have to adjust their goals. But okay, for people that want to be successful in the business and have full-time jobs, do you believe that they can do it? And if so, how?
So, okay. There are so many diamond documentaries of people who have made it to the tippity top of this company with full-time jobs. So there is nothing special about anybody who is at the top of this company. Nothing special. I mean, of course, God made us all special, right? But they made it happen. They believed that they could do it and they did it. So you can make it to the top of this company with a full-time job, just like I made it to the top of this company with 6 kids. Let me tell you, Brenda Martin's got 11 kids. I don't know what the world is going on over there, but if we can do it, you can do it. I mean, really, it's you've got to make the time, just like anything else. And there is, especially when you're busy and you have a crazy life, there are a lot of trade-offs. But if you're not willing to make trade-offs, it's probably not going to happen for you. So excuses are going to be made when you don't believe wholeheartedly in what you're doing. And I think that is probably what the actual issue is versus people not being able to be successful because they're busy. I think it's just excuses get in the way because you don't necessarily believe you can do it. So I would like take a good look in here. You can do this just like anybody else can do this. Yeah, you just got to work hard and believe you can. Magic, like seriously, there is power in just believing you could do this. When I started, I had never even heard of multi-level marketing. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what this was. I didn't know anything about the ingredients or how this worked. I just knew that my husband was working 2 and 3 jobs, and I was lifing alone. I didn't get married to be by myself, you guys, and a lot of households are that way, and I didn't want that to be our life anymore. So that was my why. And if you're pulling out this excuse of you're too busy to fit this in or whatever else. Your why is just simply not strong enough, or you don't believe that you can do it. You've got to make trade-offs in your business. And let me tell you something. I remember, I don't know if you guys know Lori Welch, but she's my diamond upline above Fallon. And I remember I was probably around, I'm maybe senior gold or ruby, and I remember getting on the phone with her and just saying, like, what am I doing wrong? Because I feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm feeling very overwhelmed, like unorganized. My laundry is piled to the ceiling, like the kids are eating frozen chicken nuggets every night. Like, what am I doing? Am I missing something? And she kind of laughed and was like, no, you're making it to, jewel status in a year. You're doing everything right. It doesn't look so pretty sometimes. So just know, if that's you and you're out there feeding your kids frozen pizzas, whatever else, but you're growing really fast, you've got to make trade-offs. And it looks a little less than desirable sometimes, but that's normal.
Right. Sometimes I feel like too, even if you stay up 15 or 20 minutes later than normal, that can be your time. If you're so busy, which, like you said, I think a lot of it's just excuses, or they don't believe that they can really do it. Even if you just make that commitment, I'm going to stay up 15 or 20 minutes late tonight and do some income producing activities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and like, do you drive? Do you drive to work? Does it take you 20 minutes? You can do 2 coaching calls in 20 minutes. I mean, let's get real and be intentional with your time. There are so many times in the day that you're wasting doing something. Maybe you're watching The Bachelor. I don't know. I could not tell you who The Bachelor was the past 2 years. I used to have some favorite shows too, but I don't watch TV like I used to. I used to watch football. I was a huge football fan. I didn't do that. Our kids didn't do extracurricular activities. Like, you've got to make trade-offs if you want this to work, and you're not going to make those trade-offs if you don't believe in what you're doing or have a strong why.
And I'm sure that you're glad you made those trade-offs, because now you're jewel in the company, so it paid off.
Yes.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's worth it. It is so worth it. Oh my goodness. Totally life-changing.
I love it. Shirley, is it my turn or your turn? I'm losing track. Okay. Are we on number 7?
5.
Oh, just kidding. Okay. What is one goal that you really recommend for newbies to focus on? I know we kind of talked a little bit about that, but like, if there's one thing, like somebody's new and they don't have a lot of time, or they're not putting a lot of time into Plexus, what is one thing that you think that they should focus on?
Oh my gosh. Like, for a new person, I would say go silver. Like, so many people, they make this a lot more difficult than it needs to be. So when you're thinking about going silver, and just like, how do you eat an elephant? Like, if you're starting this business and you're like, I'm going to be diamond, like, oh my gosh, that's really overwhelming, right? Especially when you're new. Like, let's take her down a notch, and let's just do one step at a time and start with silver. You eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? So let's start there. And when you're going silver, like, don't overcomplicate this. Going silver is really, really simple. Think about your dirt list people. And if you've never heard of that term, a dirt list person is somebody who loves you and cares about you enough that they would purchase whatever you're selling, even if it was dirt. So start with those people, like your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your best friend. Start there. You only need 3. You only need 3 people.
That's a good one. Awesome.
That is good.
Yeah, and it is so simple, and it is easy to get overwhelmed when you start thinking about the points and the people, but if you just keep it simple, go silver, it's not so overwhelming.
Okay. Yes, and you don't have to know everything. My goodness, I am not like, I'm not a huge product. Like, I can't tell you all the ingredients and all of the science behind them. I can tell you what all of our products do, and kind of the gist of how they work. You don't need to know everything. Don't get stuck in that analysis paralysis where you're like, I need to watch these 5,000 videos before I can reach out to one person. Like, stop it. Just stop it. You've got to get going. Put into action what you're learning, or you're never going to grow.
Okay, here's another one for you. How do you motivate and encourage your team to make and hopefully then crush their goals?
Okay, I love this. I think team culture is huge. What's that saying? Team culture eats strategy for lunch. Team culture is really, really huge. If people believe that you care about them and their goals, they're going to work harder. If they think that you're just going through the motions, you're like, how are you doing? How is your business looking today? Or whatever it is, people can feel that if you're not genuine. So I would say to you as a sponsor, anybody out there as a sponsor, you've got to genuinely care about your people. If you don't, and you're only focused on your own, personal goals or whatever, it's not going to work. But that being said, you can't motivate the unmotivated. So if you're trying to drag a dead horse up to the top with you, it's not going to work. You have to give, like, your job isn't to, to create desire in people. That desire has to come from them. Your job is to give them what they need to be successful, the tools that they need, the support that they need. And at the end of the day, it's up to them. And if they're not willing to put into the work, and I don't know if y'all have heard this before, but many people will say that they want it, but they're not showing that they want it. There's a huge difference there. So you've got to be able to balance your time between the people who really want it and they're showing they do by, when I'm saying that, I mean getting on team calls, they're doing the things, they're part of your IPA group or whatever you guys do. They're reaching out to people, they're following up, they're asking you for help, those types of things. Yeah, I don't know. I got on a tangent. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I love that. That's amazing. Okay, so how have your goals changed some of the lower ranks to now that you're Emerald with the Jewel with Plexus? I think we kind of really already went over that. Maybe I should go to the next question. We pretty much did. Okay, how do you celebrate? Last question. How do you celebrate when you reach a big goal and small victories?
Me personally, I celebrate with my team. We celebrate together if we achieve something together like that. But you have to know that people will work harder for praise than they will a paycheck. So you have to get, as a sponsor, I'm talking as a sponsor, you have to get your team members small wins. Maybe their goal is to go silver, which is awesome. That should be everybody's first goal, right? But let's celebrate them when they reach out to that first person. Let's celebrate them when they get one person signed up or whatever, and not wait till they have 3. Get people small wins, because it's those little small wins that's going to build somebody's confidence up to where they believe they can go for the big one. And magic happens. Like I said, there's power in believing that you can do it. Yeah. What was the
I love
question
that saying. That's like,
you guys, it's getting late. I'm losing my train of thought.
no, you did good. I was just gonna say, I love that saying. It's people love praises more than raises.
Yes.
Like, it's so true. You've got to celebrate your people. I mean, anything they do. Our team page, we have a tag and brag. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's just like a cool post, and it just says like tag and brag, and like sponsors can tag their person, and then everybody's like woo woo, whatever it is.
That's cool.
Cool. Yeah, that's what we do.
Is it like a pinned post that you guys use the same post, or is it like a new post every time?
It's one post, and it's not pinned, but people bump it. It's bumped all the time.
All the time, yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of cool.
That's cool. I like that. I might have to steal that.
Yeah, steal it. It's cool. I truly believe in that. I love giving people recognition. I'm a red, so I love recognition myself. But yeah, people love that. Keeps people motivated and excited.
It does, absolutely.
I have one more question I literally just thought of.
Yeah.
I feel like literally I love watching your Facebook. I feel like all of your posts are so personal, and they're just so thought out, you can tell, and they're just so good, but it comes off so natural. How do you have any tips or ideas of how you come up with really good posts?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Put time and effort into it though, right? Rather than just like really
Do.
quick copying and
I
pasting.
really do. But I get my inspiration from all over. So like I listen to music like all day. It's what keeps me, excited. I'm a firm believer in voice messaging, but some days I don't need to be sending nobody voice messages, right? We all have those days,
Mhm.
and people can tell. But I use music as kind of a way to kind of get my excitement up so that people can hear excitement in my voice and stuff. So sometimes I'll draw inspiration from on a post from a song that I like. I'll grab a quote, like a line of in the lyrics from a song, and make it into a post, or just post that sometimes. But I get inspiration anywhere. But something that I do too is if I do get inspiration for a post, maybe it's something that I seen, I'll take a screenshot of it. Maybe I think of something, I'll put a quick note in my phone to myself, send a quick message, those types of things. But I think it's important when you're trying to figure out your post and what you're going to post about. And I think that so many people hesitate because they just don't know what to post about. And that was me before. My Facebook page looked a lot different when I first started Plexus, but so it's kind of like a learning thing too. Um, but you got to figure out who you are, and you've got to post about those things, because when you're posting about things that you don't know anything about, that you're not passionate about, that you don't understand, that's not part of you, it does feel like work. And I feel like that's when you start to hesitate. You don't really know what to say. But if you figured out who you are and what you love and what drives you and motivates you and lights your fire, it's a lot easier. It doesn't feel like work. It's easier to post about those things. So that would be my tip, is just to figure out who you are. And for me, that did not come easy. I'm going to tell you. It really took me a couple glasses of wine, a notebook, getting in the bath, like shutting everything out. Like, who is Kodie? Because I spent so much of my life, like I told you guys, I started having kids at 18. And I had one every other year after that. So I spent the majority of the time, when people are trying to figure out who they are, building my family. And so I didn't know. I didn't know who Kodie was. And so I had to ask myself, who am I? What do I want people to say about me if they were asked? And I started just writing words down. I'm a survivor. I'm a Christian. I'm a mom, all of these things. And then I post according to that, because I know that that's who I am. It's easy.
Yeah. I saw Bob Heilig, I think, posted something like just be the best version of you, and it makes it so much easier. And
Mhm.
I really believe that when you try to like, be somebody else, or like I think you might have posted about it too, about just like, trying to be like another Jewel. Like don't try to be another Jewel, just try to be yourself.
That's right. Yeah, I posted that today.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I shared it actually in our team page, and I said, all right, who's
Yeah,
excited for this call?
you did. You're like, who's excited for this?
Yay!
Well, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much for getting on our call. We really appreciate it, especially on a Friday night.
Yes.
So thank you so, so much. And that was amazing. I can't wait to share with our team and make everybody watch this because it was great.
Thank you
Good. I'm
so
so
much, and
glad.
you're such a
Thank
breath
you
of
so
fresh
much.
air.
I appreciate you guys for asking me to hang out with you.
Of
Thank
course.
It was
you.
fun.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy your weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.